So big picture, like I said, nitty gritty details aside, this is the the sacred idea, and it's the idea that a roof it's on a life cycle. At some point, it's brand new. Other times, it needs replaced, and most times, it's in that B, C, or D area. And so, something that these the reps I met this morning didn't acknowledge is that we always want to be selling something to bring, like, yes, we want to sell a PMA, but we can't sell a preventative maintenance agreement if that roof is not maintainable, right? If it's in too bad of shape, all we're trying, basically you'd be putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole trying to maintain a roof that's not maintainable. And so we have to do repairs, or we have to do a restoration, or we have to do a replacement in order to get it up to a particular level. And I've got a good buddy, some of you guys know him, Brian Mitchell, and he says he ran a very, like, probably one of the at least from what I know, he ran like one of the sharpest service departments probably in the country. He had a handful of trucks. They did $13 million, $13 million a year in service. And in his words, he said, there's a barrier to entry to my preventative maintenance agreements. And he had 2,000 plus maintenance agreements. And so that's the point, is like, I want to drive home, is that we have to have a maintainable roof in order to sell a PMA. All right. And so the way, or the reason that most of those roofs that we walk are a B, a C, or a D and kind of fall in this area is because, let me collapse this down. If we think about that whole life cycle of a roof, now there's a lot of things that play into this, and depending on if you're in a storm market, or if you're depending on how harsh your winters are, going through multiple freeze thaw cycles, or if or maybe your areas like Travis and Andy, where you don't get winter anymore, and you don't have to deal with freeze thaw cycles. But whatever it is like the average roof across America lasts, I'd say 20 to 25 years. All right. And so we'll use 25 years because it's what I got on the screen here. And so if a roof lasts 25 years, that means that across 25 years, like from today, and we mark the calendar 25 years from now, that would mean that about 100% of the roofs in that market would need to be replaced somewhere across that 25 years. And if that's true, that means about guys, this is like rough math. Obviously, I'm not saying this is scientific, but if these numbers are true, that means about 4 to 5% per year needs to be replaced. And so when we think of it that way, that's where this diagram came from. So this is 100 roofs, and it took way longer to build this than you'd think it would. And 4% is this. So most roofers, or most roofing companies, are seriously just targeting the roof replacements. They're taking the calls where people are calling them up, and the opportunities where people are calling them up, and they're not able to capture the rest of this market, right? Unless they get lucky or just happen to get an inspection for a leak or whatever. And so we want to focus on not just the 4%. Oh, cool, Josh. It looks like you found that. Not just the 4% that needs replaced. We want to capture the 100% of the market. We want to, again, in my buddy's words, we want to take those roofs off the streets. We want to capture those roofs and make them unavailable to our competitors, so that when the time does come, when these black roofs move into the red roof area, right, when their time comes to be replaced, we want to have that relationship in place where it's not even a question. They're just like, hey, or like we're letting them know, hey, the roof needs to be replaced. They're not letting us know that, hey, they're collecting bids. It's like, no, you guys should be planning for this. And so the way that we do that, the way that we capture 100% of the market, or that we make the 100% of the market available to us, is that we use the ladder sales framework to do that. We're generating leads with the ugly roof strategy, right? We're identifying roofs that we can see are starting to have some issues, and we're going back to the roofs that we've already worked on. That's the lead generation portion. When we get a lead, I'll tell you, most people don't think about their roof in this way. They're not thinking about it like their teeth. Like you go to the dentist, or most people go to the dentist every 6 months because they want to proactively, keep cavities away, or they want to make sure that their teeth are going to be okay. They don't think about their roof that way. Most people get an oil change. Most people rotate their tires. Most people, I just had my wiper blades swapped yesterday. It's like most people think about that for their automobile, but they don't think about that for their roof. And so the reason I bring that up again is because in the appointment preparation, yes, we as roof inspectors or roofing salesmen or whoever's going to go out to that roof must prepare, but we also need to prepare the prospect. We need to start to teach them how to think about their roof and to start to think going from reactive to proactive. And so we do that in the A. We know that in the commercial world, the sales cycle can get stretched way the hell out. But what we want to do is we want to collapse time. And the way that we collapse time is by asking the right questions and getting them to realize, again, we're asking them questions to get them to realize that they need to think proactively about their roof. And so that's what discovery does. In diagnosis, another reason that people get pushed away from commercial or feel like commercial takes forever to come to fruition, commercial deals take forever to come to fruition, is because we're going out there, we're skipping discovery, and then we're spending hours on the roof diagnosing the whole thing, spending hours doing these takeoffs when we are not in alignment with what the prospect's actually looking for. They probably don't even have the budget to replace the roof, yet we're up there, quoting to replace the roof, or, measuring every single curb and flashing and things like that. So I teach you guys how to diagnose the roof quickly with a conditions report. We align with the prospect. So we're basically saying, hey, the roof is here on the A, B, C, D, F scale. Your roof is here. Your roof is here. This is what that means. Does that make sense for you guys? Can we repair? Do you have is it in your budget to repair this thing? And let's put you on a preventative maintenance agreement. Do you have the budget to replace the roof? And if the answer is no, then we don't have to waste our time diagnosing the entire roof, right? We don't have to spend hours or days out there walking those things. And then the last piece here, these kind of go hand in glove, but we either want to close the deal or we want to recycle the deal with our estimate, the way we position our estimates and proposals. All right. So I wanted you guys to understand that is the first 12 to 16 weeks here. But the piece that was missing that I realized this morning, it was like someone turned a light bulb on in my head. It was like, how do we execute these things as the owner or a sales leader, the leader of the company? How do we implement